Howdy everyone, my name's Flint. I'm a longtime fan of Deltarune. I've even cataloged every theory in the fandom, which is why I could say that I know for a fact most people are misinterpreting the weird root, which is totally fine. It's really confusing. And unless you've delved headfirst into research the way I have, you probably don't know what's going on. So I want to go over a lot of the misconceptions. But first, most of these findings are not my own. I will put credit on the screen for where I get this information from if I have not found it myself. Or I will to the best of my ability. Let's go over our first misconception, and the largest one. Chris and Noelle are dead. This is wrong for a multitude of reasons. This is a very common misconception for obvious reasons. We see the white screen of death here, essentially, that plays every single time that you die in this game. But we could say, for a fact, this is not what happens. First off, if we check out this video by Reese of this unblurred version of the scene, we can see that the last two sprites of Noelle aren't underwater anymore. And if we look at some of the older sprites for the scene, we can actually see Noelle's sprite start to glitch out of the box as if she's boundary breaking. There's even more to this. Sans gives us a punch card, which is a reference to the Undertale speedrunning community, where some of the best ways to wrong warp are by using the punch card. Now, I've never played Earthbound Beginnings or Mother 1, but there's an excellent video by Portal Bump on this topic, and an also excellent comment from a user called dtims3262. That go more in detail about how this glitch works. There is a character named PP who is a temporary party member with insane stats, similar to Noelle. And you have to use her to get this glitch. By giving her the breadcrumbs, you are able to travel to this monochrome area that's a remix of the map in this game, which is just another example of wrong warping and boundary breaking, referencing both his previous game and one of his biggest influences for the games Toby has made. But there's more. We can also see that the sounds that play during this scene, the last two jingles, are called Sound Ominous Hell and Sound Ominous Super Hell, which hell refers to the depths if we are to believe Jebel. So more and more we have proof that they did not drown in this lake. They boundary broke and they ended up somewhere else. I'd also like to point out that it's a very common glitch in general to use bodies of water in 3D games to glitch out of the skybox. So, all in all, this is a huge reference to glitching out of games, and it is 100% what Chris and Noelle have done here, and I don't really think it's up for debate. Number 2, the punch card. This is a point of contention because I've heard a few arguments about this, and almost all of them are wrong. I'm sorry to be so harsh about this, but I understand why it's so confusing because the wording is weird and you have to go through a lot of things to understand this. So I think the easiest way to go through this is the arguments that other people make. Some people say that the weird route is the canon route here because Susie draws 4 people on the normal route and then 3 people on the weird route. Or they will say that typically she draws just 3 people in both routes. These are both wrong. Sans specifically says on the normal route, no matter how you've done it, to tell Susie just to draw her friends. Only if you've talked to Rousey will Susie add Rousey to the drawing. So typically she draws Noelle and Chris, and sometimes she adds Rousey. And for the weird route, she always mandatorily draws herself, Rousey, and Chris. So the weird route theory does still hold up, but not the way that it is described by people online. So if someone tells you otherwise, they are incorrect. If you want to hear more about how this punch card indicates that Sans is from the weird route, you can check out tons of videos online about it. This is typically the only thing those videos get wrong. Side A/Side B. Now, I feel like I don't have to cover this one very well because Sodaman made an excellent video about this, but just for the sakes of completion, I will say the basics here, but promise me you will go check out his video. Many people wonder if Side A is another type of the weird route. It's not. Side A is the normal route, Side B is the weird route. This is a reference to old records where you would flip them around and you'd play Side A or Side B to get different things. a lot of people say that you can't abort the weird root here, and that you are still stuck on it. This is not true. The flag for the weird root is still broken if you do not go through with this scene, if you let it white out and get to the next Noelle scene. You are no longer on the weird route. You could maybe be on a different route, but you are off it. The actual continuation of the weird route is to go down in this lake. He has a lot more to say about this and clarifies some side A and side B things, and I really recommend you watch his video. But while we're on the subject, I'd also like to go over another thing that I've heard people say about saves. That the game doesn't save your data for this, or you don't have completion data, or that you're going to have to play this chapter again when Chapter 7 comes out. From as far as we know, this is not true. If you go and check your save files, you can actually see that there's a separate piece of completion data titled Chapter 5 _ insert number here, B. And that is your completion data for this route. So it is there, it is saved, you do not have to play this again, and you do not have to play an aborted route to be able to go through with the weird route. You are okay. As long as you have gotten to the Chapter 7, as long as you have gotten to the Insert Chapter 7 Side B screen, you are A-okay. Gaster doesn't like the weird route. From as far as I can tell, this is just a meme. But I know that for casual fans that see this, they may not have all the information about why this is incorrect. As far as we know, Gaster has absolutely no problem with the weird route. We can prove this by looking at the PlayStation achievements. The only version of Deltarune that has achievements is the PlayStation version, and where we can see what Gaster considers an issue and not an issue. As there is an achievement for every chapter besides 5 to complete the chapter without issue. The only way to complete a chapter with an issue is by getting the egg. The only thing that Gaster cares about you doing that he does not like is getting the egg. In fact, based off these tweets, we could assume, keyword assume, that Gaster would probably be pro-weird route, seeing as he wants to see some sort of new future. We can see another example of him liking things that are impossible or shouldn't be, with him intervening when you fight the knight and making a custom save point for you. So as far as we know, all evidence points to Gaster being pro-weird route, and probably being really impressed that you drowned in a lake, or didn't drown in a lake. There are a few other misconceptions, but they typically go into the waters of character analysis, and I really don't have the time or the resources right now to go over that. If you'd like to see a part 2 of me talking about the mischaracterizations we've gotten from Noelle from this, I'd be happy to go over it, but this is just almost purely fact-based, this video. If I missed anything, or there are other misconceptions, please comment it. I will make a pinned comment, I will credit you, and I will add anything anyone says that I have missed and I have fact-checked. And thank you so much for watching! This is my first real video, and I'm really happy to make it. If you'd like to see more from me, please like and comment, and please share this around as a resource for people that have been getting any information wrong. Flynn out.